Afternoon everyone, and welcome back to Bonsai Expression. Now today, well, as you can see, more indoor trees because yes, it's the time of the year and I still need to get some of these more compact before they go in the plant room. There's just not enough space for all the trees, I'm afraid. So Bonsai Expression plant room needs expanding. I'm not sure I'm going to get that one round the wife. So we have to make do. We need to cut the trees down a little bit. So welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph. If you're new to the show, well, if you're new to YouTube, welcome. Please hit subscribe, like the video once you've watched it, if you do like it. Anyway, this, if you remember and you've stuck around for a while, I showed you, or I did a video on this tree, and I called it the beginner's guide to bonsai, specifically to the bonsai ficus, Tiger Bark Ficus. So I showed you what to do when you buy your bonsai, when you buy your ficus, and what people generally do is they let it overgrow. And I showed you the steps what you should do, how to look after them, how to repot them, how to trim them, and how to manage them. And what I've done ever since that is I've given it a few trims, give it a few styles, and I've let it overgrow again because I want to get it healthy and I want to make sure I've got a nice established shape that I can keep going back to, trimming it and making sure we've got it there. And as you can see, I've got a lovely conical shape going on there. I just now need to reduce the height and make sure my conical shape stays conical, which as you can see, it's still conical, but when I reduce it, I need to keep it at least as best as I can. So as you can see, I've got a couple of additional branches that I don't need, that are in my way. So first things first, I'm just going to go in and take a couple of those out of my way, so you can see what I am exactly working with, which is just there. So them ones on that is roughly my front. So my front for me is roughly here. So for you, camera wise, is about there. There you go, give or take. So you can see the conical shape is just a little bit off. So I'm a little bit too far on one side and a little bit not too much on the other. And that is because, again, it's just a little bit too overgrown, but not too bad. It just needs bringing into shape, and that's what I'm going to do today. I've got some crossing branches, some branches like this one at the back. You can see me just giving it a little bit of a wiggle. And if I bring it round, you can see it is this one here. This is my branch that needs reducing probably round about to here. It is out competing my leader, which is again is this one here. So you can see the height difference. Now again, if it's this one and this one, they're roughly the same size. Now if I leave that, they're going to outcompete each other. This one is pretty strong. It is actually what used to be the old leader, and now this is what I want to grow as the new leader. The way the tree is growing, this is the back of the tree now. This is now the new leader. As I say, it grows into the front. The way I changed the formation of the tree is new the front. So I want it to grow this way. That is the back branch, and I don't need it quite as tall the way I need the direction. So I do need to reduce the height of that and allow this one to establish itself more dominantly. So let's move the direction of the camera down here so you can see exactly what we're talking about. We are now looking straight onto the tree, and as you can see, this here is going to be my new leader. So this is the one that I need to be more dominant. As you can see, the tree line goes up, and I've now taken this to continue on as the leader. So it goes all the way up. The old leader, it used to go up, used to go back, and then into this section over here. So this section here is the front section. So I just need to come in and just remove that, and then take that down a little bit. So let's just take this here and just remove it down here as well to start with. Now as you can see, if I just move it around here, so this here, this little trunk line, this is my old leader. So as you can see, it comes off, goes round. We used to have a big cut here that did, and then it took off over here. So as I change the angle, so that's the old leader. The new leader is now that one at the back, just there. But this one is the old leader. So what I need to do is start by reducing the height of that. And first things first is I'm just going to come in and just cut it here. And I'm going to use directional pruning and allow that to grow out that way. I'm just going to come in and cut it a little bit more flush. So directional pruning, it'll now grow out this way. It'll follow the pattern of this. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's where it's going to continue to stay, but for now, that's where we're going to go from. And then if I turn back, you can also see that this grows right through the tree. So I'm just going to come on and take that off completely also. So there we go. That has now cleaned up the entire section of the tree. So in fact, I'm probably going to go and cut it further back to there for that tree, that leaf, and use directional pruning there. I can also go further back if I want to into this hardwood, and because it's a Tiger Bark Ficus, it will develop buds along this section. Now I may do that further on in the video, but for now I'm just going to leave it because I'm not sure how far or how deep into this we are going to go. This section is my leader, as I say, does need reducing, but what we want to establish is a playing field going downwards in all directions. So now we've just cut that, we want a sloping section. So I just move that a little. So I want a sloping section like this. So I'm going to continue with that theme, and I'm going to cut down. I'm going to follow each branch downwards using directional pruning just to start off with, making sure I'm cutting to an outward facing leaf. Giving my conical shape. Now again, I might go further as I reduce the height, but for the time being, it gives me my conical shape. And once that is established, I can continue it throughout the rest of the tree. So that has just got that playing field in this section already. And then if I move the tree over a little bit more, I can continue with the rest of it. We're going to say there, we're growing outwards. So I'm going to reduce it to there, there, which will be there on this one. And then if I move along again, we will do exactly the same. So just on this side of the tree alone, it is nicely conical, you can see. And then if I move it round, you've just got this section here. Just there. 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 That grows in, we'll remove it. That grows in, we'll remove it. That's a nice basic start on this tree. We've got this branch at the front here, grows upwards and in towards the tree. That's not what we want, so we're going to remove that completely as well. Now as you can see, we've got this side here, it is nice, ready for the conical. Everything's going to grow into these positions. If I move into the back section, this section here, this branch grows right through and then in. Let's just snip that out. Can actually see into the tree as well now we've done these, and we can see I've got bits that grow upwards too close into the trunk line. There we go. As we've gone around this bottom section where we've trimmed off, we're taking a closer look, and if we look through, we can actually see this branch here comes from underneath this main branch. So we need to take that out. And then we've got this branch here that comes from on top. We need to take that one out as well. and then we can continue to go round, just looking for any other branches that is from underneath the tree or growing upwards, and everything else seems to be okay for the time being. Now, moving on to the main section, which is the apex of the tree. What we need to do is we actually need to lower it, but before we need to do that, let's start shaping the rest of this tree, bringing it closer into line with the rest of the tree. So the apex does need lowering, but what we need to do is we need to push it in. So let's bring everything else back into shape as if we were already as if we'd already lower it, and we need to lower it round about this sort of height. And if that had been lowered somewhere there, we need to bring it in. So let's bring it back to somewhere in this sort of vicinity. And then you are looking at the height roughly somewhere around, I'd say somewhere there, possibly one of my hairs on the tree, which then would suggest the height wise something there. Bring that in. That needs to come out this way, so that would need to be brought right back there. If this is the leader, this has to come right back down here. That branch needs coming out. This needs removing right back here, right back to there. You're looking at bringing that back here. Bare minimum there. So this one at the back, obviously in the way. I would cut it back at least to there, possibly if not off. So all them cuts we've made originally are at least the foundation to everything we are doing now. So a nice apex coming in nicely, everything else is bringing back, so which means all this at the back needs reducing. Take that off. Okay, so the apex is looking nice, everything's reduced back. I would bring that back completely off there. It's nice and tight. Let's take that one out. So the apex is looking really nice. You've got this lovely established section now. It's nice and tight. It's probably still a little bit too high for my liking. At least if you look at it on that aspect, it's a pretty bit too tall. Let's bring it back, maybe there. In fact, I would go to there, I think. And to there, still bringing more back. Just need to bring the length of everything back now. So if that's going there, that has to come out. That needs reducing back there. So that is going to be the front just there. Well, I think I'm going to mark the front. I'll give you a whirl. But the front of the tree, and I know I've cut an awful lot off, but for the front of the tree I've marked it with the bridge, and it is roughly there. Now with the shadow, it looks like this is straight, but it isn't. It's round about there. So if you can see, this does look straight, but it actually curls up that way, and then that way. So if I just move the camera over this way, you might get, I don't know if this is because of the light. I don't know if it's just the lighting. The lighting doesn't seem to do it much justice. But anyway, this branch is in the front and actually gives it the best angle for all. But it actually covers the actual, it might even be there, I think. Maybe that's the front for me. Just a little gap. I think what I could do potentially is remove this section. Just remove that section there and allow that to be the leader. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I might just do that and allow that one to just to establish the leader instead of this. Get rid of that. It's a bit too straight. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that for now. Let me know what you think. I've done it again, haven't I? Conical shape, my bum. There's nothing left. Anyway, I can't decide whether or not to chop that top bit off, so leave me a comment down below. What would you reckon? Shall I leave it for the time being, or go and just... What would you do? So, I've gone right ham on it again, but I think that is the best thing to do, really. I could have left it as a conical shape and I could have just give it a little bit of a trim back, but I think going in and making them big cuts was the best thing to do. I mean, just look at it now, it looks so much better. You can actually see a good chunk of what's going on in there, and I think overall it's better for the tree. Yeah, it's better for the tree. I just need to decide what I'm going to do with that top bit. It's really starting to bug me. I've been off camera for about 5 minutes now, just spinning it back and two, and should I cut it? I keep doing the Peter Chan thing. Should I just get rid of it? Should I not? Is it too close? I don't know. I really need your advice. Please leave me a comment. Anyway, so I've actually took the whole tree off. But it looks better. So if you want to watch the first part of this, as I say, I did the beginner. I did it as a beginner, and I will put the video up for you to have a look at if you want to check it out. Please go check it out. It was a good video for all those beginners out there if you want to know how to look after Tiger Bark Ficus when you do buy them. I thought it was a good video anyway. So give me a like if you like this video, as I say. Leave a comment because I really need your advice, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to hype the video up. Thanks for watching.